Welcome to the What's Our Verdict podcast. We fashion ourselves cinematic judge and jury. My name is JJ Carter. I'm here with my co-hosts Mattson
Better red than dead.
and Alec Burgess.
Let's get it.
We appreciate you tuning in. Go ahead and hit that follow, subscribe, like, bell notification button. Tell a friend about us. Tell your family about us. Tell whoever's in the shower right now about us. You know, we'll take you. And there goes Alec shouting at Oshi. She already knows about us, though, but I appreciate the effort. We are here this morning to talk about Cocaine Bear. It was released February 24th, 2023. It was written by Jimmy Warden. It was directed by Elizabeth Banks. It stars Kerry Russell, Alden Einrich, O'Shea Jackson Jr., Ray Liotta, Isaiah Whitlock Jr., Brooklyn Prince, Christian Convery, Margot Martindale, Jesse Tyler Ferguson, Christopher Heave-Jew. Guy's got a big cast. I'm kind of shocked, but I keep going, that's enough. And then I'm like, no, he was big in this, or she was big in this. Okay. Hannah Hoekstra, Ayula Smart, and Aaron Holiday. Yeah, I don't even know this synopsis. An oddball group of cops, criminals, tourists, and teens converge on a Georgia forest where a huge black bear goes on a murderous rampage after unintentionally ingesting cocaine. It's relatively new, so you haven't seen this movie. You want to avoid spoilers. Now's the time to pause the podcast, go watch the movie, come back, pick up where you left off, because we are about to spoil the shit out of this thing. Not that there's much to spoil. It's exactly what you think it is. It's exactly what that synopsis says. Might be the most accurate synopsis I've ever read.
Yeah, I was telling JJ last night we were playing some games that this, I don't know, 40-some, 50-some-year-old couple, like after like 20-something minutes after the who died first? It was the lady, the couple, and like she got mutilated and the leg came out, and then soon after that, I think there was what was the next violent scene after that?
You don't get another one for a minute.
Yeah, and I think they left sometime after that then with some of the jokes. I was like, what did you think you were watching? The movie's titled Cocaine Bear. Like, the bear's going to go on a rampage. Like, this was never going to be a wholesome movie.
I wonder if it's because they were old enough to, like, be around for if they're in the 50s, 1985, when the true story actually happened. I wonder if they thought it was going to be some sort of, like, actual
documentary
to the real story of it.
I'm sorry, that's just dumb.
Because the bear didn't go on a rampage in the real story.
Oh, I'm sure it didn't. Yeah.
In fact, let's start off with what this is based on, because you can't make this shit up. Like only in Georgia / Kentucky could this shit happen. In Tennessee. So, okay. The Cocaine Bear, also known, this is great. I love people. Pablo Escobar or Cokie the Bear are his names. He was I don't know. Anyway, it was American, 175-pound American black bear, fatally overdosed on cocaine in 1985. It had been dropped by smugglers in the wilderness of Tennessee. The bear was found dead in northern Georgia and was stuffed and displayed at a mall in Kentucky. So, on September 11th, 1985, a former Lexington Police Department narcotics officer turned drug smuggler, Andrew C. Thornton II, was trafficking cocaine from Colombia into the United States. So he drops his shipment off in Blairsville, Georgia. Then they had he and accomplice departed in a Cessna 404. En route, they dropped a load of 40 plastic containers of cocaine into the wilderness before abandoning the plane above Knoxville. Thornton was killed instantly when his parachute failed to open. And then they never found the actual cocaine, but they did find this bear. And there was a large amount of cocaine from the jettison containers. It held about 75 pounds. It was valued at the time at about $2 million, $5 million in our time. By the time they found it, the chief medical examiner stated that its stomach was literally packed to the brim with cocaine, although he estimated the bear had absorbed only about 3 to 4 grams into its bloodstream at the time of its death. And then it ended up on it was taxidermied. Okay, this doctor taxidermied it, gave it to the Chattahoochee River National Recreation Area, and then the bear, however, was stolen.
What?
No shit. And it disappeared for years until it eventually emerged at a pawn shop. And then it made its way to the Kentucky for Kentucky Fun Mall in Lexington, Kentucky, which I've been to, where it remains to this day. There's a rumor that at one point Waylon Jennings had it in his Las Vegas home, though it's unconfirmed. And the bear, due to Kentucky marriage laws, yes, I lived in Kentucky. The way that Kentucky works is the cocaine bear he's not qualified to solemnize weddings, but in Kentucky, the state cannot invalidate marriages performed by unqualified persons if the parties involved believe that the person marrying them has the authority to do so. As such, if they believe in Cocaine Bear's authority, it will allow to officiate legally binding weddings in Kentucky, which it has done.
Well, that settles it. Oshi and I are getting married in Kentucky by the Cocaine Bear.
I'm fucking telling you, only in Kentucky. And I can say that shit because I lived there for years.
I was gonna say, Alec, you lived there, so you can get.
I didn't live in Kentucky, but
I did.
I'm gonna go get married by the Cocaine Bear in Kentucky,
dude. So yeah, that's the story that this is inspired by. Honestly, I would have been okay watching a movie based on
a movie about that might have been better.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, like, that Elizabeth Banks went and made phone calls to get this cast together, because the fact that it opens with Matthew Rhys in a plane having a cocaine party, throwing cocaine out of a fucking plane, hitting his head as he goes to jump out, and falling to his death. There was nothing but a phone call. I felt like and then with either it was Elizabeth Banks that made that call, or Elizabeth Banks called Kerry Russell and said, "Hey, do you want to star in my movie?" And then she called Matthew Rhys and was like, "Hey, Americans co-star, do you want to come be in this silly ass movie and die in the first 2 minutes of it with me?" Like, because that would be the shit.
That was my favorite part.
Oh,
just
dude.
The greatest opening to a drug-fueled movie ever.
Yeah.
Just clunk. Out he
but
goes.
The guy actually died though, right? That was legit. The parachuter.
Yeah, he actually died. Both of them did, because there were 2 of them in the plane in the real story. Yeah,
this movie. I was talking to JJ about this when we were playing. Obviously, in a movie like this, there's barely anything that is true. So you get a canvas where you get to paint lots of things in that kind of tie it together. I knew it was going to be a train wreck to an extent, but it was going to be a fun one. I found myself laughing the most at what were the 3 kids called? The teens? What were they called by the park ranger? Does anyone
Potchgane or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that little posse, we'll call them, because they're not a gang. They're something else. That interaction from the bathroom until seeing it through the gazebo scene with the agent dying. Those scenes for me were the best. They were the funniest. Like when the bear laid on the guy, like it's like, you should try and move it. You're like, what do you think?
I can't believe I didn't think of that.
Or whatever. Yeah, so
it's a girl.
Those were the funniest for me. The other things weren't as funny, and some of them definitely didn't land, the other jokes. But man, that bleached blonde haired kid cracked me up. He was so funny. I loved when he was like, when the cop was holding him up and he just had his arm. He looked like Gumby, just like arms like straight up. That was the best. Those scenes were the best parts of the movie for me. I didn't really care so much about Kerry Russell's character trying to find her daughter and such. The little kid was funny, but there was a lot of if and other things going on. But those central jokes around that crew were the funniest for sure.
Oh yeah. I laughed so hard at like the freaking in the bathroom when they're like getting ready to stab him and he just absolutely beats the shit out of him. And then he's got him laying in the bathroom on the ground while I love this jersey. And like the freaking other guy comes in and he's like, "Are they dead? Please tell me they're not dead."
Are they dead?
The one guy
One of them
might
might
be. I don't know. And I was like blessed. So Mattson and I would talk about this too. Like, I guess he was in a theater with some dude that was cackling most of the movie, like I probably
yeah.
was. And I was sitting next to this group of 40, 50 somethings like me. And as soon as I sat down, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. Because I knew, I was like, I'm looking at some of my people. Like these were, and I'm telling you, there was like 6 of us on the end all the way into the middle. Dude, we were freaking laughing our asses off the whole movie. Because I thought, I mean, it's been a minute since I've laughed that consistently through a movie. Like even just these random jokes, like some of them didn't land. Like most of the jokes with like even though I love the actress that plays her, Margot Martindale is great. But like most of the jokes that she had didn't land. It was when she was pissed off that I was laughing my ass off. But like the little kid, like when he was asking the mom, he's like, is there, long-term side effects to doing cocaine? Or like even when they pulled this knife and like tried to eat the cocaine, like I was like, what is happening right now? And then he accidentally like sniffs some in after the fact. Like, oh, it was great. There was so many parts. When O'Shea Jackson Jr. gets his 2 fingers shot off, and the blonde kid's like, how did he hit those 2 fingers?
They're not even next to each other.
That was funny.
There was so much about this movie that made no sense, but it was hilarious to me. Like just hysterical.
I enjoyed the paramedics too. So the guy with the mustache, he's a TikToker.
Oh, is he really?
He's on TikTok. He's all over the place. This was like his first credited film. But their whole byplay was hilarious. And the bear's chasing him going like 60 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Shoot it! Shoot it!
The big slow motion freaking leap.
Is it a black or brown bear, would we say?
It's a black bear.
Didn't you hear the little rhyme at the beginning? If it's black, fight back.
Yes.
If it's brown, lay down.
Black bear on its own can run 30 miles an hour, exceed 30 miles an hour.
Hauling.
So on cocaine, I'd say you could add another, I don't know, 10, 15. It definitely seemed to be running a lot faster than that, which that whole ambulance scene was... I mean, the craziest scene, though, was probably before the ambulance when the park ranger was trying to shoot said bear that looked all cute on it, just like on its butt, and then just capped that a poor unfortunate soul with that headshot.
It was a big toss-up between the headshot and the her bouncing out of the ambulance, sliding. Like I was like, I don't know which Unalive is better. One of those two, though, they were the top notch.
Oh, her face scrape.
Oh yeah, when she comes flying out of it, hits it, and just. Though I will say that the ambulance driver, dude, like laying there like many of us have with our elbow like cocked up and your wrist buckled under you, but he had no hand. Like it was like actually on the stump of his wrist. Like, and I did
that had
laugh.
It easy was the girl that went through the windshield.
Yeah, until she hit the tree, and then the whole theater, at least mine, was like, oh, it was great. Yeah, and I mean, it was just beautifully gory and just enough like gratuitous violence that just needed to not, that had no business being in a movie, and yet I loved it. Like the same thing with the ambulance driver when she slams on the brakes and he comes flying into the front and he's like, oh, and then his hand like slumps over. Like I laughed so hard and I'm like, I should not be laughing at this, but I can't help myself because that was funny. Because he just goes, oh, shit. And then she screams real loud. And it's like, you do realize that the bear is still there. Like, you need to go.
And then she hit the gas and he goes back to the back with the bear.
funny.
It was
Oh,
just a
man.
sequence of events when they had these big moments.
Yeah.
Like I loved right at the beginning where the kid's in the tree, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
this wildlife expert also climbs the tree, and the bear like gets a whiff of the cocaine that's on him,
Yeah.
drops, and like makes it over to the other tree in a snap of his fingers.
Well, yeah, and he'd been taking his time going up to the kid
Yeah.
because he doesn't smell the cocaine. He's just going up there. And then when he smells the cocaine, it's like balls to the wall up the tree.
Cocaine's not that. I mean, like that addictive. I don't know. Maybe with the bear and cocaine, maybe it'd be different. I'm like, dude, that was like zombie style.
That shit was great. Shit was, but yeah, I'm laughing too. I did love what he's like. The kid's like, bears can't climb trees, and he's like, yes, they can. Then why'd you climb that? It was so dumb, but I loved it.
Alec, did you? I'm trying. There was a little bit of a jump scare. Was it the paw through the little glass
little window? I jumped there.
Mhm.
I also jumped when the head came out of the bucket. Because how'd the
Oh.
head end up in the bucket in the first place?
Yeah.
Yeah, I jumped.
Well, and that was a creepy moment too. Like when it's like laying there and it comes crawling out of the dark, and all you see is just this blood-covered freaking bear face. He slowly closes the door.
That's gonna do anything.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. The bears didn't really eat the people because I looked it up on according to Wikipedia, as this show referenced Wikipedia. Truly, man-eating bear attacks are uncommon, but known to occur when the animals are diseased or natural prey is scarce, often leading to them to attack and eat anything they're able to kill. So, cocaine bear, like all rules are out the window. I feel like.
Yeah. For sure. But
Ugh.
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this movie's pretty straightforward. It's just a bear going on a rampage and some poor unfortunate souls that just happen to be around it, and no one actually was around it in the real story, so it wasn't very interesting. But they threw some interesting characters in there.
That's fair.
What's up with Ray Liotta? I feel like the dude, his life took a real spin for the wrong side.
I mean, he got old, and I don't think any of us can kid ourselves and not think that dude did a lot of cocaine with a bear. I mean,
Yeah,
I was sad. Like, was this his last movie?
I think so, and it's hard to go out on Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
Why do we know this is his last one? Like he's retiring. He said it.
He's dead.
Oh, I forgot. That's right.
Passed away.
He died last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they had that. Did you guys see the post credit kind of thing? That's why right after it was like in the loving memory of Ray Liotta.
Oh yes. Yeah, there's some post credit scenes. I don't know if I saw every single one of them. I think there was at least 2 or 3.
I only stayed for one.
Oh, there was 2 that I stayed
was there?
For.
What? So the first one was. I don't even remember what the first one was.
Was it? Did you see the one with the kid where he's hitchhiking with the cocaine duffel bag?
Oh yeah.
And the other one it's Eddie and O'Shea. Oh,
yeah.
And they have the dog, and the dog eats his fingers.
God damn
the dog down, and the dog is just.
Oh yeah, I saw it. Yep.
He's like, "What is he eating?" And he checks the pocket. He's like, "Oh, they weren't gonna put it back on anyway."
Oh no! I can't believe I missed that. Son of a bitch.
I don't know if there was a third one after that. We stayed for those 2.
People are still sitting, but we were gone after that, so I don't know if there was. Well, let's consult the internet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, check the internet. I will say that because the one came pretty quick after I got up. Like, I laughed like pretty loud with my group of little weirdos when he took the cocaine bag away from the sheet. Yeah, I was like, that shit's funny. And it was such a great follow-up to Ice Cube Jr. saying, "Does this dog had cocaine?"
Yeah.
There was 2.
Just those 2?
We named them. Yep.
Nice. Damn it, I can't believe I missed the dog eating the fingers.
No, it's so funny.
I'm so mad at myself for not staying. That's crazy. Yeah. Poor freaking Ray Liotta.
Dude, what a way to go, too.
Oh,
Yeah, it was his last movie.
That was like Jurassic Park style.
Yeah. The baby bears.
Just playing with his intestines.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah, it was a little rough. But don't mistreat the baby bears, dude. They were cute.
How did we feel about the CGI? Because at times, when they had some of the bear, like close-ups of the bear, it looked quite good. Or like when it was a little unfocused due to what was happening, it worked. But then other times, it was just bad. Or even like the CGI of the girl's leg that at the beginning, the hiker, it looked bad. So I noticed it at times.
Yeah, no, it was terrible. But I actually was okay with it because of the nature of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't imagine it had a huge budget. Like,
there's no way anybody signed off on a huge budget for this.
I mean, I'm trying to see if I can find it because normally they'll tell it, but I haven't found it yet. But I can't imagine that the budget was, it had a budget of $35 million, which is more than I thought it would.
I was going to say that's definitely more than I thought it would be.
But I guarantee most of that is the CGI of this bear. Because the rest of it, I mean, what's your set piece? The woods and a fucking cabin that's your, you know what I mean? Like it's not like it took a lot of money to make this movie other than the CGI.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there were moments when it was terrible, especially like the close-ups of its face. Like, unless it had a bunch of blood on it to kind of mask the fact that the fur looked wrong, it was pretty bad. But I was like, it's okay.
I think they'll break even. They're already at over 23 million in box office, so
dude, they better. It knocked Ant-Man off its first week as like not that took much because Ant-Man kind of boo-boo, but I'm telling you, I went and won because of the release of Creed 3 was the same night that I went, or the night, it was
a lot of people in my theater for this movie.
Dude, it was packed. I went to buy tickets because Casey didn't go with me. There's no way she was going to that movie. So I went to buy tickets at a 7:40 show, or pick up my tickets anyway. I didn't buy them, but I got my tickets through the AMC app. And so I looked, and every seat was full except for like 3. And then the front row. I was like, what the shit?
Well, it wasn't like that, but
yeah, it was packed. Like there was and I got there and it was full. Like, and I had to park in buttfuck Egypt because there were so many people at the theater between Puss in Boots, Creed 3, and then Cocaine Bear. I was like, damn, it's a good day for the cinema, which I'm happy about it. I'm not bitching. I think it's great. We need to get back to going to movies. So I want to see these theaters not get shut down.
It's the first time I've been to a movie on a Friday night in quite some time that I can remember.
Me too.
I usually see them on like a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I don't usually see them late either. Like I either see them really late or I see them in the middle of the day or early in the evening. And so, yeah, it was weird. But yeah, it was packed. Like full packed. I was like, what the hell? Luckily, there was one seat on the end, which is where I sat. But
luckily, I don't have to pay for freaking movie priced food. I had a bunch of points from Regal, and a small popcorn's $8, a large is $10, a small soft drink, which was like a large size. The prices are crazy. Like it's nuts. I mean, I know that's how they make most of their revenue, but geez, people, like, geez.
Yeah, AMC's just losing money on me left and right because I have so many points. I haven't paid for snacks in years. Like, I have 6-digit freaking points on my AMC because
But I thought you don't get points because when you go to the movie, you don't get it because your A-list membership.
I don't get it for the tickets because I don't pay for the tickets. You still get points for your membership. You're at my $20 membership. And any snacks that I've purchased in the past, I get points for. And I was getting points before because I was an AMC Stubs member long before A-List existed. So back in the day, every point that I was spending, and I'm kind of a point whore. I have a couple of credit cards that I have a disgusting amount of points or cash back on because I also like to watch it get bigger, that balance. I'm like, this is awesome. So I very rarely use it. It's fun.
Let it be known, credit card people. JJ's your guy. He'll rack up the points, but he's never going to use them.
Yeah, one day.
I can't wait for Charles to change his name to Point Whore.
Oh God, it's been a while since he's got me on a name, but
I feel like I'm a revolving door with names. F you, Charles.
It's fair. Yeah, the one thing that I will say about this movie that I thought was like, it's interesting because I liked Kerry Russell's interactions with the kid. Like when they're walking through that field, like the fact that your daughter got taken by a cocaine friggin' addled bear to its cave, everybody's dying around you. You watch this weird wildlife expert get gnawed on until his leg falls off, and the way he falls off that tree was great. And then, but she's still making jokes about like, we always know, or we always find out. It just like, but it like that whole, I don't know, the fact that they were trying to make like relevant points in the movie was kind of like, whatever. But like, there's this whole lovey-dovey aspect between Eddie and I can never remember Ice Cube's kid's name, like character's name. Anyway, but David, that's right, David. So David and Eddie, like they're having this whole moment, and then the mom and the kids are having this moment, and it's just this weird dynamic to throw these like life lessons, I guess for the lack of a better term, into this movie about a freaking wild bear just eating everyone. It was just weird.
It was, but I really enjoyed it. Like the 20 questions game.
Okay, that was funny.
Is it bigger than a bread box? Yes. Is it Abraham Lincoln? You gotta go broad, man.
Yeah, and then they turned it all sentimental at the end. He's like, is it whatever her name? Joni? Oh, dude, I will say that I laughed my ass off at the tattoo. When he's at the bar and he misspelled it. It's John. I got 7 days with John. That shit. Because that's like, as a guy with tattoos, that's like one of my biggest fears is somebody will fuck up a tattoo. And I'm like, oh, God. So, yeah. But I think that was my only like real big, like there were a couple moments where I was like, oh, this feels forced. That and I just wanted more carnage. Like the bear killing was just so funny that I will say that I laughed a lot at the cop too when he's laying on the thing dying. He's like, I trusted you. State of Tennessee trusted you. The United States of America trusted you. There were some great one-liners in the movie. Like when you were talking about Eddie being stuck under the bear, and he's like, it's a girl. How do you know? Because its vagina is on my ear. Yeah, I had a good time. And I think that was, look, this is not a great movie, but damn, was I entertained. Wow, this was filmed in Dublin, Ireland.
Really?
Yep.
So their budget was all travel.
Yeah, no shit.
There really is a Blood Mountain, though. I had to look that up. I was like, oh, all right.
I've been there. I haven't hiked it, but I've been there. It's a beautiful place down there in the south.
Yeah, I'm sorry for you.
Yeah. Sorry for you.
It's gorgeous. I will say the other thing that really got me about this movie is like the amount of characters that show up just randomly, like, is great. Because every time I think, okay, this is our full cast, like here comes another person, and the way they just kind of were all pulling into the freaking ranger station, I quite enjoyed that. In fact, the lady was sitting right next to me. Like, I think the last when the ambulance pulls up, there was somebody else that came in. Like, it was like, okay, how many more people are gonna be here?
Right, it's the busiest day that national parks had ever.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Oh boy. Not a lot to talk about though. Should we rate this thing?
Let's do it.
All right. Mattson, you go first, buddy.
All right. This movie was entertaining. Had entertaining parts. There's still some parts of this movie, the jokes and things felt forced, but the carnage, the cocaine bear, much of the cast really didn't disappoint. Like, but to sit here and say this was a good movie is a far, far stretch because there wasn't really a lot of plot to this movie. It's just people doing dumb things around a bear that had cocaine, and that's pretty much it. Like there isn't much else to say. That's why we're rating this podcast already. But that being said, for the amount of laughter and the people that laughed around me, I'm gonna give this movie a 2.5. Uh, it doesn't even feel right to say this is an average movie because, again, this is a movie about a bear that ate cocaine. But if you're looking for carnage, if you're looking for kind of like Violent Night meets maybe slightly funnier jokes, maybe, but it's like a Violent Night type-esque movie. And while Violent Night has more lasting like rewatchability appeal due to the holidays and things, I think movie is probably a one-time watch for me. But it was a fun one-time watch, and definitely had some carnage that was like, whoa, like, whoo, I don't need that in my life. We've talked about. So 2.5. Don't think I'll see it again, but made people laugh. And if you're squeamish, might not be the movie for you.
It's probably a fair assessment. All right, Alec.
I'm squeamish, so I'm gonna come in a little bit lower at a 2, because there was parts where I was just like, don't like it, especially at the beginning where the bear is ripping that guy in a tree, and it just like keeps going and going and going and going. I was like, oh, make it stop. But the jokes were hilarious. I was dying with Aaron Holiday's character. He did a great job. Just all over the place, fun, enjoyable. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the 2. Won't ever watch it again, but it was a good movie to go see, to have a real kind of relaxed time.
Yeah. I'm gonna be the high guy then. I mean, I'm not gonna go crazy with this movie, but I had a really good time with it, and I liked your comparison, Mattson, of like Silent or Violent Night, where it wasn't as funny to me as Violent Night. It didn't, but it worked for me in another hour and 30-minute movie. Great timing. It's just a lot of go, and it was this mixture of ridiculousness with just really cute shit. Like I was thinking about a moment there where they're sitting at that gazebo and it's all everybody's kind of gathered for the most part, except for the mom and the kids. And the dude's laying on the thing and he throws the cocaine brick down there and the bear swallows the whole thing. And it kind of like rolls over and scratches its back and then huffs the cocaine out its nose. Like that to me, like I just was like, that's really disturbingly cute. Like I thought it was just a great moment. And for me, like that's the epitome of this movie is the ridiculousness meets weird cute meets 100% ridiculous violence. And yeah, I'm with you. Like there were moments I was like, wow, they went there. But then there was strangely moments where there was like, whoa, they stopped there or they cut away at a weird moment, right? Like you got this wildlife expert getting gnawed on in a tree to the point that the blood's just dripping all the way down the tree. And I'm like, wow. And then they cut away when some dude gets his head smashed in the wall. I was just like, it's so weird. But I can't say that I was not entertained. Like I was laughing. I had a good time. Again, I think I told Mattson this. I was like, I don't think I'll purposely watch this whole movie ever again, but I would certainly watch parts of it. Like this is one of those I'm like, I'll YouTube some shit on this one later. Like some
would have
clips
been
of this
good.
one.
Like you like doing JJ's. The kid talked about like a deer on cocaine. I think it could have been funny if you had like another animal or two that like a squirrel that got hopped up on or something like where there's nothing super true about this movie. Like get another animal or two that are like get the forest freaking out on it. That could be funny.
Oh yeah. I mean, it would have been hilarious if every once in a while like a squirrel goes flying by and the just like we're screaming by the screen. Yeah, that would have been hilarious. Or like a deer doing like little hops in a circle or something. Yeah, I could see that. But I think, yeah, for me, like that's the thing is like, if you're looking for a movie, like it's a movie, like a good, this isn't it. But if you're looking for an hour and a half worth of just unfiltered entertainment that means nothing, that you can walk away and go, okay, that was funny. This is it.
Shocks and giggles.
Yeah. Shocks and giggles. I like it. So I'm going to give it a 3. It's not a great movie, but damn, I've been talking about it all night in my head, laughing at the jokes, at the violence. Thought it was hilarious and worth the hour and a half worth of watch, especially when it gets on streaming. Oh yeah. Take a look just to laugh and be shock and awed into into oblivion with it and then walk away from it. So yeah, there it is. That's short, sweet, and to the point, just like this movie. Alec, tell everybody where they can find us.
Will do. Thanks for tuning in to our review of Cocaine Bear. This movie is quite the viewing experience, but it has it all. Star power, comedy, Norwegians, smart mouth kids, and drugs. Truly a film that will be remembered for quite some time. Personally, I cannot wait until they sweep the Oscars this year. Truly a cinematic masterpiece. If this was your first introduction to the What's Our Verdict podcast, I would like to say this was a one-off, but to be honest, it doesn't get any better than this. Welcome and please enjoy your stay. We have content all over the place and are knee-deep in another content splurge with Mando, The Last of Us wrapping up, as well as our weekly movie releases on Mondays. Check us out on Apple, Stitcher, and Ghana, as well as YouTube, and hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Special thanks to our current patron, Davey Lockett. You are just straight up the best. If you guys do enjoy the content we put out, consider joining us on Patreon, where every dollar earned goes towards breaking Mattson of his crippling cocaine addiction. With that, I will send it back to the Wazir of Wham, the blunderbuss, JJ.
This coming from the guy that's got this smear on his camera that looks like a grain of cocaine. What a great YouTube moment. Sorry for those that are listening. What a funny movie and podcast. So with that, as always, we appreciate you tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye. Hasta la vista, baby.
Cinemagic out.
Whoa!